Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I have a card for you guys. This is actually a birthday card for a coworker of mine who loves wine, so I thought this was fitting for her. We are going to be doing some coloring with our Stamp and Blend, some embossing. I've done 2 embossing folders on this card, and then I've also stamped the inside as well as my envelope. So let's go ahead and show you how to create this. The stamp sets that I'm using today are half full and birthday banners. This is the primary set. I just chose to use the happy birthday from the birthday banners to create this card. So this is a wonderful set for coloring. I love the images as well as the fonts. So if you have someone in your life that loves their wine, this would be a great set for them. As far as ink pads, I am using Old Olive, Sahara Sand, and Blackberry, Bliss. The 2 embossing folders that I'm using today are the Pinewood planks and the simple stripes. And then we are going to use our velvet ribbon. And I have a bunch of blends here. So I have my light Blackberry Bliss, my light Crumb Cake, my light Old Olive, my light Daffodil Delight, and then I have my color lifter as well. Alright, so let's jump in. For our card base, this is a piece of thick Very Vanilla. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of regular Very Vanilla that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss that I believe is 3 by 4. And then I'm going to use a scrap piece of Very Vanilla to stamp and fussy cut our images. So here's just an extra piece of that. So why don't we start with our embossing. I will grab my Big Shot here. Now I'm using one dynamic folder and one non-dynamic folder. So the sandwich is a little bit different. So I'll start with the simple stripes. This is just a regular embossing folder. It is 6 by 6, so it's a great size. Let's just line this up. We'll put one acrylic plate over our regular platform, our embossing folder, and another plate, and then we'll run that through. Okay, and you can see our piece here with our stripes. Okay, so now for our dynamic folder, I just need one acrylic plate and the Big Shot platform. But let me move this aside for a moment because I'm actually going to do my inking inside my Pinewood planks. Okay, so this is the dynamic one. It is much thicker. And we are going to add our Sahara Sand right to our embossing folder. So I've showed you guys this trick before. I love it. It's going to give it a rustic look. And you can easily clean it right out. So let me grab my Big Shot back. I'm going to take that inside layer and I'm going to lay that right in my folder. We're going to set down our embossing folder right on the platform and then cover it with an acrylic plate. And we'll run that through. Okay, so you can see there is our new piece. And then I'm going to just use a baby wipe to clean this out. You can give it a nice rinse with soap and water too if you'd like. I'm using a wipe that I already used, so I might not get it at all. But it looks like I did pretty good. Okay, so let's take this out of our way. Alright, now we can go ahead and adhere our 2 embossed pieces together. So I'm going to use a strong adhesive. If you were lucky enough to get some of the Fast Fuse refills on the clearance rack, that of course is my favorite adhesive that we no longer carry, so I'm still using my stash here. Let me see if that's straight. that looks good. Okay. All right, we can go ahead now and put this down on the card. And I'm putting adhesive around all four corners because it's embossed. I don't want it to lift up. All right, and then I'm going to give this a nice crease. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but on my original, I also inked up the edges of my base too. So I have my Sahara sand. I have my sponge dauber here. I like to label mine with my label maker. And then we're going to go ahead and go all the way around. And this just helps, you know, keep that kind of rustic look with our embossed piece that we're going to mount. So you can choose to go in as much as you want from your edges. Love that. Okay. Close this up. Get that off my finger. Now we can go ahead and adhere our layer. And you see how that just kind of blends in now since we've done the sponging. That's what I want. Alright, now we can go ahead and do our stamping. So I am going to use the Sahara sand again. I'm going to do 2 wine glasses and 1 bottle. Okay. And then we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So let me grab a piece of grid paper. I just tore it. Fold this in half. And then because she likes white wine, I decided to go ahead with the Daffodil Delight. And again, I'm just using the light. Now, I know in my videos I've always mentioned using the Memento black ink. But I didn't, it was too harsh to use for this image. So I did go ahead and use the Sahara sand. So if you go too heavy, you know, with your marker, you might have a little bit of bleeding. So just, you know, keep that in mind. I think it worked out okay for me. You know, don't go too close to the edge because it'll probably, you know, expand and fill out. Alright, and you probably couldn't tell, but I also added some Wink of Stella. Now, you can take your color lifter here, and I also kind of went over a few areas on my bottle. My Wink of Stella, and I'm going to come right over and just give all of this a little sparkle. And I just think that kind of helps. I should have cleaned that. Stand out a little bit more. I know that's probably hard to see on camera. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut these out, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so now I have these fussy cutted out, and I'm going to grab a piece of this velvet ribbon. I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors. I just want this to kind of come out over this Blackberry Bliss layer a bit. So I'm going to turn it so I can kind of see. That looks good. And then we are going to use just regular adhesive to put down our wine bottle. For this ribbon, I'm actually using our tear and tape. I'm going to attempt to put this right on the back of our ribbon. And if you don't get it perfect, that's okay. You can always roll it right back in. So see, I wasn't quite on right there, but it'll be fine. So when I peel the backing off, you can see it's overhanging here. I'm just going to roll it back onto itself, and it will be perfectly fine. All right, and then we are going to lay that over our wine bottle. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put our mini dimensionals. So what I've done is I've actually cut one of the mini dimensionals in half. That's going to be for the bottom of our wine. And then I'm going to use my pickup tool, and you can see here how it fits perfectly. And then I just want to be sure it's kind of even with the bottom of my bottle. That's what I'm looking at when I do this. So this is a very vanilla envelope, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab our Sahara sand, we're going to grab our wine glass, and we are going to stamp that right on the side. I have a piece of just paper folded in half. I'm going to slip this inside my envelope so that I can color with my Stampin' Blend and it not bleed through to the back of the envelope. So I'm just going to use that Daffodil Delight and fill in my glass just like we did on the card. Okay, I'll give that a minute to dry. You can put your Wink of Stella on that as well if you'd like. And then we'll go ahead and open up our card, and I'm going to bring back in the Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp, "May your glass always be half full." In Old Olive, we're going to do the Happy Birthday. And then for the little grape in the bottom corner, that is actually off of the larger tag in the set. So I've used some Scotch tape to mask off the pieces I do not want. I have my Stampin' Right marker here. So I'm going to come in and put my Old Olive. I love my photopolymer stamps so much because you can see where you're stamping. So this was the challenge with this one. I think I got a little bit of ink. Let me grab that off. I just had to kind of, you know, wing it and hope I get it placed in the right corner where I want it. Very good. So you can see because I've masked, I've only got the grape, just like we intended. Alright, so that completes our card for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. As always, you can find a full supply list in the description of my video. There is a new host code for October, so feel free to use that for any order under $150. And I look forward to being back with you real soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.